my beautiful divine feminine. When I think of you, I see you as the Empress. You are everything, radiant, nurturing, abundant, and full of life. Even in this silence between us, I feel your energy surrounding me, like the warmth of sunlight on my skin. You embody creation itself, a force so powerful, yet so gentle that it shakes me to my core. You are the woman who inspires me to be more than I am, to grow into the man I know I can be. You are my muse. When I close my eyes at night, I feel your presence as if you're right here beside me. There's a softness to you, a beauty that goes beyond what my eyes can see. It's in the way your spirit feels like home. You carry this energy of unconditional love that both comforts me and terrifies me because it's so pure, so real. You make me believe in something greater than myself. But it's not just love you hold, it's power. You are strong in ways that I can't always understand but deeply admire. You create effortlessly, whether it's beauty, joy, or even chaos when needed, and I'm in awe of how you move through life with such grace, even when things aren't easy. You remind me of the earth itself, fertile, giving, and endlessly abundant. And yet, like the earth, you have boundaries. You don't give yourself away carelessly. Right now, I feel like I'm on the outside looking in at your garden. It's lush and full of life, but there's a part of me that wonders if I'm worthy to step inside again, or if you even want me there anymore. Do you still hold space for me in your heart, or have I lost my place in this paradise you've created? These questions haunt me because no matter how far apart we are physically, I know our connection is still alive. It's like a seed planted deep within my soul that keeps growing. I also feel your energy calling me to rise, to meet you where you are. The Empress doesn't chase. She attracts what is meant for her. And right now, I know you're not waiting for me to come back. You're simply existing in your power, knowing that what is meant for you will find its way to you. That truth humbles me because it makes me realize how much work I still need to do on myself before I can stand beside someone as extraordinary as you. If only you knew how much I long to tell you all of this, to pour out my heart and let you know how deeply I feel for you. But at the same time, I'm afraid of disrupting the peace you've cultivated for yourself. You seem so whole without me. And maybe that's what scares me most, that you don't need me the way I need you. Still, even in this distance between us, your energy heals me. It pushes me to grow and reminds me of what true love feels like, unconditional and eternal. You are my Empress, my divine feminine. And no matter where we are in this world or what separates us now, my soul will always recognize yours. When I think about how I feel for you, it's like carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. Not because my feelings are a burden, no, far from it, but because they are so immense, so all-encompassing, that they consume me. You are always on my mind, and my love for you feels like a fire that never goes out. But with that fire comes responsibility, a responsibility I feel deeply, but don't always know how to handle. I love you more than words can express, but sometimes that love feels heavy. It's not because of anything you've done. It's because of me. I feel this overwhelming pressure to be enough for you, to rise to the level of the incredible person that you are. You deserve someone who can give you everything: stability, passion, devotion, and a future you can trust. And right now, I'm carrying the weight of my own insecurities, fears, and shortcomings as I try to figure out how to become that man for you. I feel like I've taken on so much, whether it's responsibilities in my life or the emotional baggage I haven't yet released. And sometimes it makes me feel distant from you. But please know this: every step I take, every effort I make, is with you in my heart. Even when it feels like I'm struggling under the weight of it all, it's your light that keeps me moving forward. You give me purpose. At times, though, I wonder if I'm making this harder than it needs to be. Am I carrying burdens that aren't mine to bear? Am I holding on to guilt or expectations that don't serve us? These questions linger in my mind because deep down, I know love isn't supposed to feel this heavy. But when it comes to you, when it comes to us, I can't help but want to give everything I have, even if it means pushing myself beyond my limits. There's also a part of me that feels like I've let you down somehow. Maybe it's because we're apart right now, and I haven't found a way to close the distance between us. Maybe it's because I haven't been able to express just how much you mean to me. Whatever the reason, this sense of responsibility weighs on me heavily. It's like I'm carrying not just my own emotions, but also the unspoken pain of our separation. But please understand this. No matter how heavy this feels at times, I will never stop carrying it. My love for you is worth every ounce of effort, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt or struggle. You are worth it all and more. I just hope that one day soon, we can share this load together, that we can find a way back to each other where love feels lighter and freer. Until then, I'll keep moving forward with you in my heart, no matter how hard the journey feels. Because for you, for us, I would do anything. What stops me from reaching out to you? It's not that I don't want to, I do. Every part of me aches to send you a message, to hear your voice, to tell you everything that's in my heart. But the truth is, I'm afraid. The Knight of Cups is who I am deep down. A romantic, a dreamer, someone who feels everything so intensely. And yet, that same part of me is what holds me back. I want to come to you with my heart in my hands, offering you the love and devotion you deserve. But I hesitate because I fear it won't be enough. What if my words fall short? What if I open myself up completely and you don't feel the same anymore? What if I've waited too long and the door to your heart has already closed? These thoughts swirl in my mind, and they paralyze me. The Knight of Cups is a lover. Yes, but he's also vulnerable, and that vulnerability terrifies me. Reaching out to you would mean exposing the deepest parts of myself, my hopes, my dreams, my fears, and trusting that you'll accept them. But what if you don't? What if I pour out my soul only to find silence on the other end? That possibility keeps me frozen in place. There's also a part of me that questions whether I'm ready. The Knight of Cups can sometimes be idealistic, caught up in fantasies of what love could be, rather than facing the reality of what it is. Am I ready to offer you something real and grounded? Or am I still chasing an image of perfection that doesn't exist? These doubts make me hesitate, because the last thing I want is to come to you with empty promises or half-formed intentions. And then there's this pride, this stubborn part of me that doesn't want to admit how much I miss you or how deeply I feel for you. The Knight of Cups wears his heart on his sleeve, but doing that means risking rejection, and that's a risk I'm not sure I'm brave enough to take just yet. It's easier to stay silent than to face the possibility of losing you all over again. But please know this, every time I stop myself from reaching out, it's not because I don't care, it's because I care too much. My love for you is so vast, so overwhelming, that it scares me. And until I can find the courage to face those fears and let go of my pride, I remain stuck in this limbo, longing for you but too afraid to take that first step. I hope you can feel my love even in this silence because it's always there, quietly flowing toward you like a river that never stops. One day, when the fear subsides and courage takes its place, I will come to you as the Knight of Cups truly should, with an open heart and no hesitation. Until then, please know that my feelings for you are as real and deep as they've ever been. What I truly want from you It's complicated. The Five of Swords isn't an easy card to face because it forces me to confront parts of myself that I'm not proud of. But if I'm being honest, truly honest, I want resolution. I want peace between us. But more than that, I want to win you back. And that's where the conflict lies, because sometimes I don't know if my desire to win is coming from love or from my own ego. There's a part of me that feels like we're still standing on the battlefield of whatever caused our separation. Words may have been said, actions taken, and now there's this lingering tension between us. I replay those moments over and over in my mind, wondering if I could have done things differently, if I could have avoided the pain we both felt. What I truly want is to lay down the swords, to stop fighting, whether it's with you or within myself. But at the same time, I fear that in doing so I might lose something, maybe my pride, maybe my sense of control. I want clarity. I want to understand what went wrong and how we can fix it. But more than anything, I want you to see me, not as the flawed man who made mistakes, but as someone who is willing to fight for this connection. And yet, even as I say that, I know the fight isn't about proving myself right or trying to win you over. It's about finding a way back to harmony with you, even if that means admitting where I was wrong. The Five of Swords also makes me realize how much fear plays into what I want from you. Deep down, I worry that you see me as someone who hurt you or let you down. And maybe you're right. Maybe there were moments where my actions or words caused pain, and for that, I feel immense regret. But what I truly want is forgiveness. Not just from you, but from myself as well. Because until I can forgive myself for the ways I may have failed you, it feels impossible to move forward. There's another layer to this card that's harder for me to admit. Sometimes my love for you feels like a battle within myself. It's not because of anything you've done. It's because loving you so deeply forces me to confront parts of myself that need healing. You mirror back to me all the ways in which I need to grow. And while that's a gift, it's also incredibly challenging. What I truly want is to rise above those inner conflicts so that I can meet you as an equal. Someone who doesn't bring chaos into your life, but instead brings peace. At the end of the day, what I want most is reconciliation, not just in words, but in energy and spirit. I don't want us to carry the weight of past misunderstandings or unspoken hurts anymore. I want us to find a way to move forward together, stronger and wiser because of what we've been through. And if we can't do that right now, if time or distance keeps us apart, I hope at least that we can find peace within ourselves. Because no matter how messy things may feel between us at times, my love for you remains constant. And what I truly want is for us both to feel free, free from guilt, free from conflict, and free to love each other without fear. This separation between us, it feels like the end of a chapter, but not in the way you might think. The world tells me that this space we're in right now, this distance, is part of something so much bigger than either of us can fully understand. It's not just an ending, it's a completion, a cycle that had to close so something new could begin. And while it hurts to be apart from you, I can't shake the feeling that this is exactly where we're meant to be right now. I see our separation as a moment of growth for both of us. It's like we've been on this long journey together, and now we're standing at a threshold, ready to step into something greater. But to do that, we have to pause, reflect, and integrate everything we've learned along the way. This isn't just about distance or time apart. It's about transformation. It's about becoming whole within ourselves so that when we come back together, if we do, it's in harmony, not struggle. There's a part of me that feels both at peace and deeply unsettled by this. The world reminds me that separateness is an illusion, that no matter how far apart we are physically, energetically, we're still connected. I feel your presence everywhere, in the quiet moments before I fall asleep, in the beauty of the world around me, in the lessons life keeps teaching me. You are woven into the fabric of my existence, and nothing, not time, not distance, can change that. But at the same time, I can't deny that this separation feels final in some ways. It's like standing on the edge of something vast and unknown, knowing I can't go back to what was but unsure of what lies ahead. There's a bitter sweetness to it, a sense of loss for what we've shared, but also hope for what might come next. I see this as a turning point, a chance for both of us to step into our fullest selves. What I truly see in this separation is purpose. The world tells me that everything happens for a reason, even if it's hard to understand in the moment. Maybe we needed this time apart to grow individually, to learn lessons we couldn't have learned together. Maybe this distance is giving us both space to heal wounds we didn't even know we had. And maybe, just maybe, it's preparing us for something even more beautiful than what we've already shared. Still, there's a part of me that longs for closure, or perhaps a new beginning. The world speaks of cycles ending and new ones beginning, and I wonder if this is where our story ends, or if it's just the end of one chapter in a much larger book. Either way, I know this. You've changed me forever. You've shown me what love can be when it's real and raw and unshakable. And whether or not our paths cross again in this lifetime, I will carry that with me always. This separation isn't easy. It never has been. But the world reminds me to trust in the bigger picture. To trust that whatever happens next is exactly what's meant to happen. And while I may not have all the answers right now, I know one thing for certain. You are my world, even from afar. After seeing our separation through the lens of the world, I understand that this distance is part of a larger cycle, a necessary step for growth and completion. But even with that understanding, I can't help but feel the weight of the Five of Cups pressing down on me. The truth is, I'm still grieving. I'm still caught in the pain of what we've lost, and that grief makes it hard for me to take action right now. I see everything we could have been, all the moments we shared, and all the ways I could have done better. Those memories stay with me, like shadows I can't escape. And while the world reminds me that this separation has a purpose, the Five of Cups keeps me focused on what's been broken, on the spilled cups and the mistakes that led us here. I feel like I've let you down in ways I don't know how to fix, and that regret weighs heavily on my heart. But even in this sorrow, there's a glimmer of hope. The Five of Cups shows me two cups still standing behind me. Two cups that represent what remains between us. Maybe it's love that hasn't faded, or a connection that can't be severed by time or distance. Whatever it is, it's there, waiting for me to turn around and see it. And yet, turning around feels so hard because it means facing not just you, but myself, my flaws, my fears, and my failure to hold on to what we had. Right now, I feel like my action is stalled by this grief. It's not that I don't want to reach out. I do. But I need time to process these emotions and find my footing again. If I were to come to you now, while still consumed by regret and sadness, I fear I wouldn't be able to offer you what you deserve. You deserve someone who can meet you with clarity and strength, not someone who is still tangled in his own pain. But please know this. Even in my silence, you are always in my heart. Every day I think about what I would say if I could find the courage to reach out. Every day I wonder if you still hold space for me in your life, or if the door has already closed. And though my grief keeps me rooted in place for now, it also fuels my desire to heal, to move past this sorrow so that one day, when the time is right, I can come to you with an open heart. The world reminds me that this separation is part of a greater journey, a journey toward wholeness for both of us. And while the Five of Cups tells me to honor my feelings of loss and regret, it also whispers that not all is lost. There is still something worth fighting for between us, something worth holding on to. So for now, my action may be quiet reflection, sitting with these emotions and learning from them, so that when I do take a step toward you, it's with intention and authenticity. And when that moment comes, when I finally turn around and see those 2 cups standing behind me, I hope you'll still be there. Because no matter where this journey takes us next, you are and always will be my greatest love. When I think about where we are right now, what this connection is becoming, the 7 of Pentacles feels like the perfect reflection. It's a card of patience, of tending to something with care and waiting for it to grow. That's how I see us. Even in this separation, even in the silence, I know that what we have isn't gone. It's just in a phase of cultivation. We've planted seeds together, and now we're in the space where time and effort will determine what blooms. This isn't a fast process, and I'm starting to understand that's okay. The world we live in is so focused on instant results, but love, real love, doesn't work that way. It takes time, it takes nurturing, and it takes trust that even when you can't see progress right away, something is happening beneath the surface. That's how I feel about us. I know that this connection is worth the wait, worth the work, even if it feels slow or uncertain at times. Right now, the outcome between us feels like a pause, a moment to step back and reflect on everything we've built so far. I see this as a time for both of us to assess where we are individually and what we truly want moving forward. It's not about rushing back together or forcing things to happen before they're ready. It's about honoring the process and trusting that if we both continue to nurture this connection, it will grow into something even stronger than it was before. But I also know that this requires effort from both sides. Relationships aren't one-sided. They're partnerships built on mutual care and commitment. What I hope is that you feel the same, that you still see me as someone worth investing in, just as I see you. Because no matter how far apart we are right now, I still believe in the potential of what we could be together. The 7 of Pentacles reminds me that this isn't just about waiting, it's about active patience. It's about doing the work on myself so that when the time comes for us to reconnect, I can show up as my best self for you. It's about tending to my own growth while trusting that you're doing the same on your end. And it's about holding on to faith that all of this, the waiting, the effort, the reflection, will be worth it in the end. I won't lie. There are moments when this feels frustrating. Moments when I wish I could skip ahead to the part where everything is clear and certain between us. But then I remind myself that anything worth having takes time. And you are worth every moment of waiting, every ounce of effort. So where do we go from here? The 7 of Pentacles tells me that while there may not be immediate answers or outcomes, there is progress happening beneath the surface. This isn't an ending. It's a phase of growth, a chance for us both to cultivate something real and lasting. And though it may take time to see the results of all this work, I believe with all my heart that what we're building together is something extraordinary. For now, I'll keep tending to my own garden while holding space for you in my heart. And when the time is right, when our seeds have grown into something strong and unshakable, I'll be ready to meet you there.